Your person is beginning to see you in a completely different light. Where once they may have taken your presence and love for granted, now they see someone who has blossomed into a deeply emotionally mature, confident, and composed individual. The energy you're radiating is powerful, it's calm, assured, and unshaken by external circumstances. You appear to them as someone who is completely in control of their emotions, someone who has done the inner work, and who is no longer driven by impulsive feelings or old wounds. They see you embodying the energy of the Queen of Swords, wise, discerning, emotionally balanced, and unafraid to set boundaries. It's clear to them now that you've leveled up emotionally and spiritually. In contrast, your person is recognizing themselves in the energy of the Page of Wands, youthful, impulsive, still searching, and perhaps not quite ready to meet you at the level you've risen to. For the first time, the thought of not being worthy of you is settling into their mind. It's not just a fleeting feeling anymore, it's becoming a realization. They are starting to grasp just how much you've evolved, and with that awareness comes an uncomfortable truth: they may have lost someone incredibly rare and valuable through their own lack of maturity and emotional depth. Where they once might have expected you to reach out, to check in, to hold space for them even during their silence, they now feel your absence like a void. And it's not just your physical absence, it's your energetic detachment. You're no longer giving them the emotional access they once freely enjoyed. You're not crying over them or chasing their affection anymore, and that silence is louder than any words you could have said. You've learned to protect your peace and to stay away from any thoughts or behaviors that pull you into a low vibration. You've stopped replaying old stories in your head and have chosen to focus on your healing, your growth, and your own joy. That transformation has made you not only stronger but also infinitely more magnetic. In the past, you were the one who always made yourself available to them. You showed up for them when they were struggling, you put their emotional needs ahead of your own, and you were always willing to extend a hand, offer love, and provide support. Whether they realized it or not at the time, they were on the receiving end of a deep, nurturing, and unconditional love. But over time, you began to see the imbalance in that dynamic. You started to notice that your love and effort were not being reciprocated in the way you deserved. You weren't being truly seen, cherished, or honored. And when that painful truth became clear, you didn't collapse, you rose. You made the courageous choice to stop sending your energy to someone who didn't fully value it and redirected that love and attention back to yourself. Now, as your person watches this new version of you from a distance, whether physically, emotionally, or spiritually, they are filled with a sense of regret and longing. They're starting to understand the gravity of what they've lost. You were never just another person in their life, you were the one who stood by them, who offered love when they didn't know how to ask for it, who believed in them when they doubted themselves. And yet, they didn't treat you with the care and respect you deserved. Now they're left facing the consequences of their actions, or lack thereof. There is a growing sense within them that they've lost the most precious woman they've ever known. Your grace, your strength, your patience, your love, it's all hitting them now, perhaps too late. They are beginning to reflect deeply on their own behavior, wondering where they went wrong and how they let something so meaningful slip away. That self-reflection is likely new territory for them, but it's being driven by the undeniable feeling that they want you back in their life. They're contemplating how they can rebuild the connection, how they can make things right, and what it would take to earn a second chance. But even in that desire, they know they can't approach you the same way they used to. They're aware now that you won't accept breadcrumbs, half-efforts, or inconsistency. You've raised your standards, not out of spite, but out of self-love. And they know that if they want a place in your life again, they'll have to meet you where you are, not pull you back to where they left you. Whether or not you choose to let them back in is entirely up to you. But one thing is certain, your evolution has made a powerful impact. You've stepped into your worth, claimed your space, and shown what it means to grow through pain and come out stronger. And now, the same person who once overlooked your light is finally beginning to see it in full brilliance. Lately, life has been incredibly overwhelming. I've been caught up in a whirlwind of responsibilities, stress, and distractions that have consumed so much of my time and energy. In the midst of all this chaos, I now realize how little I pause to truly be present with you, to listen, to understand, and to simply be there for you the way you always tried to be for me. I've come to understand that I was so wrapped up in my own world, chasing my own sense of happiness and satisfaction, that I failed to see the emotional battles you were silently fighting. And for that, I am deeply sorry. Looking back, I can see now that my actions were selfish and, at times, downright hurtful. I prioritized my own needs, my own comfort, and my own emotional survival without taking a moment to think about how my behavior was affecting you. I was rude. I was distant. I didn't recognize the pain in your voice, the sadness in your eyes, or the love you kept offering, even when it wasn't being returned the way it deserved. I let you down, and I know that now. What's even harder to admit is that I ended up treating you the same way others had treated me in the past. I carried wounds, deep emotional scars, from people who misused my trust, who took me for granted, and who made me feel unworthy. And somewhere along the way, I projected all of that pain onto you. But what I failed to realize was that you weren't like them. You weren't here to use me or hurt me. You were here to love me, to help me heal, and to walk with me through life's ups and downs. You saw parts of me I hadn't even recognized in myself, and you embraced them with love and acceptance. And yet, I couldn't see it. I was blind to the gift you were giving me. Now, in your absence, the weight of it all is crashing down on me. The silence you've left behind is louder than anything I've ever known. And in that silence, I'm finally starting to hear you. I'm beginning to understand what you were trying to tell me all along, not just through your words, but through your actions, your patience, and your unwavering love. I'm starting to feel the things you must have felt, the loneliness, the frustration, the hurt, the confusion. Everything I dismissed or misunderstood is now crystal clear, and it hurts more than I ever expected. I misunderstood you so many times. I blamed you for things that weren't your fault. I reacted in anger, out of fear, and sometimes out of sheer emotional exhaustion. I said things I didn't mean, and did things that made you feel unappreciated and unloved. And while none of this is an excuse, I want to be honest with you about why I acted the way I did. I was broken inside. I didn't even realize how broken I was until you came into my life and started showing me what real love feels like. I was scared of that kind of love, of its depth, its vulnerability, and the way it forces you to confront your true self. I wasn't ready then. But I am now. The truth is, I didn't understand our soul connection. I didn't see how rare and beautiful it was to meet someone who feels like home. I was so focused on protecting myself from pain that I pushed away the one person who was never trying to hurt me. I didn't realize that we were meant to grow together, to support each other, and to become stronger not in spite of each other, but because of each other. I see it now. I feel it now. And I no longer want to run from it. Everything has changed. I've been reflecting deeply, and with every passing day, my heart opens a little more to the truth I tried so hard to ignore. I accept my mistakes fully, without excuses, without blame, and without denial. I take complete responsibility for the pain I caused you. And more than anything, I want to ask for your forgiveness. Not just with words, but with my actions going forward. I want to show you that I've grown. That I've learned. That I'm ready to love you the way you've always deserved to be loved. I want this love for a lifetime. I want to build a future with you, one that's rooted in understanding, mutual respect, and emotional honesty. I want to laugh with you, cry with you, learn with you, and grow old with you. Because no matter how long it took me to realize it, the truth is simple and clear now. I am completely, deeply, and wholeheartedly in love with you, my beloved. And I don't want to spend another day pretending otherwise. Although I often feel uncertain about where you are or what's truly going on in your life these days, one thing remains absolutely clear to me: I'm incredibly proud of you. From a distance, I see glimpses of your growth, the quiet strength you've developed, the confidence that now radiates from you. It fills my heart with both joy and admiration. Watching you rise and evolve into the person you're becoming is like witnessing the bloom of something I always knew was within you. Even if we aren't walking side by side right now, knowing that you're moving forward and finding your path brings me peace in moments where everything else feels chaotic. At the same time, I won't pretend that my silence hasn't spoken loudly. I imagine you've wondered why I've been so quiet, why I've stepped back instead of reaching out like I used to. The truth is, I've been on a journey of my own, a journey inward. I'm working on myself, not just to create a better life in the material sense, but also to grow emotionally and spiritually. There are parts of me that needed healing, parts one needed to confront so I could become the kind of person who loves fully, freely, and with stability. I didn't want to bring half of myself to something as whole as you. And still, even through all this growth and reflection, one thing hasn't changed: I love you deeply. That love hasn't faded with time or distance. In fact, there are nights when I lie awake just thinking about you, about your laugh, your energy, the warmth of your presence. And in those quiet moments, the ache of missing you cuts deeply. Sometimes it's a sweet pain, a reminder of how much someone can mean to us. Other times, it feels unbearable. But even in that pain, I find meaning. Because loving you has never felt like a mistake, it's always felt like the most real thing I've ever known. When I think about the first time I saw you, I remember feeling something I couldn't quite explain. It wasn't just attraction or curiosity, it was a sense of recognition, as if my soul had met yours before. And even now, that feeling lingers. I want you just as much as I did back then, maybe even more now that I've seen what life feels like without you in it every day. You are, without a doubt, my perfect match. There's nothing in this world that captures my attention or holds my heart the way you do. You're not just someone I loved, you're someone I continue to love with a depth that words struggle to contain. Of course, love like this isn't always easy. Sometimes it hurts deeply. Sometimes it feels like I'm carrying the weight of something too precious, too fragile to set down but too heavy to always hold without trembling. But I've come to understand that pain is often the price of something meaningful. Without the hard moments, without the longing and the challenges, we wouldn't truly understand the value of what we have. And that's why, even when it hurts, I'm not giving up. I'm not losing hope when it comes to you. I've walked through a lot on my path: challenges, heartbreak, self-doubt, and moments that nearly broke me. But through it all, no one has ever compared to you. I've met good people, kind people, even interesting people. But none of them hold a candle to the way you made me feel. The way you love, the way you care, it's rare. You are kind, nurturing, and yet so incredibly strong. You're loyal in a way that's almost unheard of these days. Your commitment to the people you love, your principles, and your dreams is something that inspires me every single day. You're the type of person people spend a lifetime searching for. And I was lucky enough to find you. Even if our paths are a little unclear right now, even if we're growing separately for a while, I want you to know that my heart still beats with the hope that we might find each other again, stronger, wiser, more in tune with ourselves and with each other. So for now, I'll keep working on myself. I'll keep showing up for my healing, for my growth, for the parts of me that still need light. But know this, I carry you with me every day. In my thoughts, in my heart, in the quiet moments and the loud ones too. My love for you hasn't faded, it's only matured, deepened, and become more rooted in truth. Wherever you are, I hope you feel it. I hope, in some quiet way, you still feel me too.